Hello and welcome to the LOS Champs stream. My name is Flash Pandy. With me is Money Magic. Look at that still image. What a great guy. How are you feeling tonight, Money?
I'm feeling fantastic to be back once again in the LOS booth. We got ourselves an exciting game ahead of us.
Yeah, we have 3 hours of action tonight. We begin with 2v2 in Tier 4. It's going to be two teams, Yeah No Problem and Panic at the Disco. No, it's just Panic. But they might be discoing tonight depending on how this one goes. But these two teams coming in at 1 and 2. Seen some successes. Had some struggles this season. At 1 and 2, these guys are looking to get back on track entering a halfway point in the season.
Absolutely. Back on track is where all these teams are looking to go. We are a little bit past the halfway point in the season. So we should be seeing these two teams. They're going to get, if they're new together, they're going to be pretty good together right now. They're going to know each other, know their tendencies, know their weaknesses, and hopefully they've worked on said weaknesses for this week 4 match to turn this around and even it up for one of these teams.
Absolutely. And we're looking at Tier 4 as of right now, and that is about GC1 to low GC2. So, I mean, these teams are going to be pretty dang good. You're going to see a lot of mechanics. You're going to see a lot of speed throughout these games. And like we said, this is 2v2. So there's not much room for mistakes. This is a best of 5, so you kind of have to get going as quickly as you can. But we have 4 players in the lobby, two for each team joining up for these teams. We begin a best of 5. It's Yeah No Problem. It is Panic. We begin now. 5 minutes on the clock. Game 1.
Absolutely. We got SGB and Circe on the first kickoff of Game 1. Play towards the middle of the field. Looks like Yeah No Problem is going to take first possession, and it's an opener goal in the first 10 seconds by Squashy.
It's a fantastic start for Yeah No Problem. You see Squashy trying to make that defender bite. Once Jackie Boy was in there, ready to bite on that 50-50, it was too late. So that was great movement there to begin that game. Squashy using as much movement on the right side of the field as they wanted to. That kickoff, say, goes back in the way of Yeah No Problem. A scary chance for them. Back to work off the kickoff, though. Good lead.
Early leads are not always indicative of the outcome, but it's a good start for Yeah No Problem. Panic is looking to not panic at this exact moment, but hopefully they can shore up their efforts and stop this. We might be looking at a runaway in Game 1.
That's a nice play from Squashy left side. SGB was there for the finish. It seems like Panic starting out with a little bit of a panic because, I mean, you each got 2 points. It's give up 2 goals. I mean, this is 2s. You kind of have to shake it off. Kickoff didn't quite go your way, but I mean, it's still a lot of space, still a lot of time to work with. Again, this is a best of 5, so these teams just kind of getting the feelers out in this first game. As another chance again goes right off that right side post, but we're seeing some good chances so far from Yeah No Problem. We just need Panic to step up just a bit.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, it's Game 1. They're gonna reach around, they're gonna feel, they're gonna see what works and what doesn't. And so far, we've seen the ground challenges, maybe some fakes will come into play. Maybe we can see that kind of permeate and go more and more into the challenges. What do we have here? It's up in the air. Circe almost gets a goal, but it is denied just in time. Bit of a 50-50 coming out midfield. SGB quick on the ball off the sidewall. Circe is there to receive.
I'm liking these quick rotations so far from Panic, as we're seeing a lot of movement throughout these 2 players in the blue team, or excuse me, as we have, the blue team making their way quickly through their rotations. There's a lot of space in between players. That is a nice shot. That one will fall in. Jackie Boy is there to get Panic on the board.
I mean, he looked like he wanted the space, dropped it to the ground, took the 50, and absolutely dropped it. I'm pretty sure that was nothing but net.
Absolutely. As that is the exact spacing that you're going to want to see. I mean, seems like Panic, just a bit of a slow start. Seems like they're getting themselves back on track. Yeah No Problem has a lot of space to move the ball around. It seems like there isn't a lot of midfield pressure. As I say, that Jackie Boy's there to press, as this ball just kind of resides in the back end of Panic's defensive end. Jackie Boy trying to be the one to slot that one in, but it was just a bit too high off the woodworks. That crossbar is going to be some trouble for these teams tonight.
Hey, as a legend once said, even if you got nothing, just put a hand up and try to do something. And that's exactly what happened there. And another hand goes up from Squashy to SGB on the sidewall. Jackie tried to get a piece of it and didn't quite get what he wanted. 50's coming out midfield. Jackie to receive over one to beat. It's a shot. It's denied by SGB.
Squashy's going to have an open field, open net. That play started with SGB. What a beautiful play. You see that 50 able to beat out that attacker from Panic. Squashy is there, the receiving end yet again. That is just the story of this team thus far, is those team plays, that participation from these two players from No Problem is just so much for Panic to handle right now.
Absolutely. And, oh my, just off the corner there, narrowly avoiding disaster as Circe looks to put it in the net. SGB on the control. Doesn't really have any boost to work with. Circe has to do something with this ball to take it out of danger. Bumps coming out from SGB. Doesn't quite get the shot. Jackie Boy gets dunked by Swatchy through the midfield by Circe. SGB taking it to himself for the corner. Looking to absolutely make this a dime. Could it be? It's off the post. It's off the crossbar. It's everywhere in between, but not where they want. Swatchy, can you do it?
Oh my goodness, there are so many chances for No Problem. I mean, that ball was on the goal line. Panic just trying to get themselves out of here. There's a good clear, maybe to start a transition, but again, that one just tossed right back in. Last defender's beat, but Srazy's there, finally back for Panic, as don't panic. It seems like they have finally gotten themselves a clear that they needed. Maybe take some time to grab some boosts. It seems like the quicker team of the two as of right now has been No Problem. More threatening chances as we've seen. Again, the scoreline still reflects that. There's another chance. Maybe trying to get something back in the way of Panic, but still, you just see this calm, cool, collected rotation from No Problem. Doesn't seem like they're really phased by many of the attacks that Panic has to show.
As you mentioned it, not really phased by the attacks that Panic has to show, and Panic walks away with another goal, giving them a 3-goal lead thus far in game one.
Yeah, I mean, the defenders right now for Panic, it just doesn't seem like they are quite ready for those bounces off that corner wall. So that was a convenient one. It was just a tough read to make. Maybe I think that was Cerisi back last for Panic, because I think they thought it might have been just a little tighter bounce off that backboard, but there you go, a good response. Jackie Boy is there to receive.
Down but not out, and here to fight and here to win it, says Panic. What a save's coming out. That's wild. All right, moving on. 1 minute and 9 seconds left on round one, with 2 goals to make up for Panic and 2 goals of comfort for No Problem.
I think No Problem was a little perturbed by that mistake that they had previously made. This one might help them get something back, but Jackie Boy is able to scramble back and make a save there, trying to keep this one off the board. Cerisi save in the net. Yet another threatening chance from No Problem. Make it 2 in the last 10 seconds. That's a good bounce, but almost getting it done as Squashy yet again. So we see Panic still on the back foot as of right now. Not panicking as we've seen in other times of this game. SGB, quick response. Nobody in net for, that was Panic's defense, excuse me, as that'll be yet another goal for No Problem.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of quick transitions from No Problem. They're making the absolute best of every inch of space that they are given. And it's resulted in a 5-2 scoreline thus far. So, yeah.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of chances right now. I mean, not many quality looks right now for Panic. But, I mean, we're just seeing, again, that calm defense. A really strong defensive rotation from No Problem. It doesn't seem like they're really giving up a lot of looks that you can normally receive in a twos game. That shows that this defense is ready to strike at any point. As they're speaking of, so that one's just going to strike that backboard. Not exactly the look that Panic wants to see. Jackie Boy trying to dish one back in, maybe to get one for the road. Cerisi will do just that. Left side, wide open net.
Absolutely. It always helps to shore up the score a little bit. That way, at the end of the day, it makes you feel better about it. You don't lose as much motivation, and you don't let the other guys feel so confident, even though they have the lead in the first match. It is only round one, but if you just take it lying down, they might get a little overconfident, right? But, hey, we might see another one. But no, it is down with a game one win, going to No Problem.
Good victory in game one. A little momentum booster there from No Problem. Definitely the major game that you want to win going into a series is for game one. I mean, it's just kind of what sets the tone for the series, and going up by 3 goals or more at one point. Yeah, no problem. I mean, you're just starting out the way you want to. Panic had some problems in that game. Yeah, no problem. Had a lot of success. Had a lot of pressure throughout that entire game. A lot of offense for both teams, as Panic had 10 shots. I mean, yeah, no problem up there as well. But I mean, it just comes down to how well can you create mistakes that are made by the other team. Excuse me, and it comes down to capitalizing on said mistakes as well. So we saw a little bit less of that from Panic. We saw a lot of open chances that Panic couldn't quite close, a lot of open rotations, a lot of open lanes that were just kind of mistakes held in the rotation. But yeah, no problem did a great job of capitalizing on that.
Absolutely. Capitalizing mistakes, you see it more and more as we get higher and higher in the tiers, and therefore is no exception here. We're going to see good plays. We're going to see good control on the ball. But what is going to make the difference is just how they take advantage of little errors that are happening. And yeah, no problem definitely moved through that and capitalized more so than Panic did.
And that is the key to success in 2v2, is making less mistakes and punishing more mistakes. Squashy trying to get started quickly for yeah, no problem. They'll do just that yet again. They struck first last game. They'll do it again in game 2. As this is all the momentum that we are seeing. Cerizy just kind of caught awkward in the net there. And I mean, Money, that's not exactly the way you want to start this game.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no problem. Drew blood on round 1, and they're looking for more with that early lead into game 2. They are definitely setting the pace here tonight in game 2 so far. Over 1 through the air. A bit of a Lugia play, if you will. SGB off the corner. Through the air. No boost to follow, and a bump to stop his momentum. In the corner once again. Squashy. Looks to be a pass. Maybe shot, maybe. Jackie Boy clears it out of any potential danger.
Still ball residing in neutral field. It seems like since that first goal, teams are kind of back to square even. So you see the bumps kind of coming out in the corner. A little bit of slow play going on right now. This game just kind of dragging on as there's a dangerous chance in front of the net. Cerizy didn't quite have the gas in the tank to get it done on that backboard. SGB still struggling to find a clear, as it seems like starving boost seems to be the major issue for yeah, no problem, but still, it's capitalizing on those chances that you get. Panic still unable to do that, as Squashy still, again, denied with that clear. Still back to the right side. SGB will be the one to finally get that clearance that yeah, no problem's defense needed. So that's a little disappointing for me. You see all the offense, you see all of the threatening chances that Panic has to offer, but speaking of, there's yet another one. Cerizy's there to tie the game.
Hey, speak it into existence, and it shall be. We have a tie game now with an absolutely beautiful off the backboard. Cerizy puts it in. Post it, it'll ship for $5.
$5. I will buy a goal every single day if it made me better at this game, but that's a good kickoff for Panic. It's SGB right back off the kickoff, send back to the left side. Still trying to find these solo possessions, not quite able to handle them exactly to the way they would like just yet, but still, yeah, no problem. Is trying to get themselves back in it here. We're still tied, but definitely that last goal kind of gave Panic a little bit too much space to work with off the kickoff. As we're seeing a lot of space between yeah, no problem's players as of right now, but still Panic still not quite on the top of the ball as far as punishing mistakes. Squashy pre-jumped that one. That's a dangerous play. Cerizy trying to capitalize yet again. Will go left. This one's going to be wide open, but nobody else home from Panic, and that was another quality chance just left by the wayside.
Left by the wayside, it's off the far side and in the goal for another one for Panic. It seems to be right when we think it's down and out and it's not going to be in, they find a way just to put it back across. I mean, maybe a resurgence.
I mean, it seems like they're just trying to make this game look more difficult than it actually is. That's totally a joke. But, I mean, as of right now, it doesn't seem like they're able to capitalize on the easier mistakes or on the easier chances that they have. Squashy decides to forego an open net. We'll try to defer to the fake instead. But Jackie Boy, again, is able to stand tall on the goal line as Panic still holds on to this lead. The first one they have actually had in this entire series so far. Seems like momentum has finally been built up back in the way of the blue team. Cerizy again. Pinch not going to go in the way that they would have liked, as it seems like yeah, no problem is able to reset on defense.
Absolutely. We're back in the midfield. We'll see what happens here. The midfield has been quite the playground for these teams this game so far. Squashy is looking to make the playground his, but gets denied early. There is zero boost in the tank for SGB as he looks for this pass mid. Can he get it? It's a bit of a misflip on the ball. Cerizy takes it to the corner. He's got ball and one defender to beat. It's a 50 and off the nose of SGB, almost into the danger zone as a lucky clear puts it off the net. Cerizy
Good ball movement midfield. Squashy up back to the backboard. Jackie Boy again just trying to find this clear. Like you said, it is kind of just a playground in the midfield. I mean, both teams are just kind of trying to move this ball through and through, one end to the other. Cerezy's going to put some pressure. SGB is going to be caught awkward at the net, but a good touch will make this a little bit easier to deal with, as we see again just ping-ponging, taking turns back and forth throughout the end of the field. Squashy tries to find SGB right side, but again, kind of let that one leak through and will allow this blue defense to take over. SGB backboard, yet another chance. Crossbar going to be denied. Squashy with the rebound. It'll be good enough to tie the game.
One thing that you can always count on in these games is the cleanup crew. They're always on call and they're available, and it was needed here for no problem. Squashy on aisle 3.
That's good recognition that that ball is going to be free off that backboard. I love going up to the backboard. It's such a useful tactic in 2v2 specifically. 3v3 it's a little bit tougher because you have somebody else occupying that space on the backboard. But in 2s, it seems like when there's not somebody there, it's free real estate to take advantage of. And they did just that. Kind of make a difficult shot into a pass. You don't have to score the shot. There's a bump attempt going to be denied yet again, as that was a nice chance there from Panic, trying to get themselves back in contention here, as we are still tied with 55 seconds remaining in game 2. It's going to be Jackie Boy, maybe a solo play, but again, good shadow defense from this No Problem team. It seems like they're starting to play quicker, trying to be all over the ball as much as they can, but still ping-ponging throughout this neutral field.
Absolutely. Geometry is the answer to the question, and apparently a demo is mutual as it seems. Is it in? Can it be? It is not so, says SGB, with another attempt coming from Jackie Boy, and he puts it away, taking the lead with 30 left in game 2.
Cerezy coming in clutch with that hitbox, as that was a dangerous touch there. I believe that was Squashy off that post, as that ball was actually not on target. Call that a bit of a mistake, and that's a good job by Panic to capitalize on it. They didn't do a great job of capitalizing on mistakes in the first game. It seems like they've started to clean up their gameplay as far as game 2 has gone, because they have been able to hold a lead. It seems like they're quick to respond when it comes to emergency calls, as they are quick in first response. But again, off that kickoff, another mistake. That pinch will be right back in the hands of Jackie Boy. The air dribble bump, call it cringe, but it works. 10 seconds left. It'll be 4-2.
Oh my, that made me smile. That I feel that deep inside. I absolutely love a good demo goal, as cringe as they can be, but cringe as it is, it's exactly what they need right now. They need to just expand upon what they're getting right now so they can solidify this game. Oh.
Trying to solidify that fake kickoff. Not quite going to go the way that No Problem would have liked, but there still might be time if this goes in. Squashy just trying to get one for the road, but you're saying there's a chance. Still 1 second to go.
1 second and a dream, as they call it. It's all dreams for No Problem to take game 2 and put them on the potential for the 3rd game sweep. But with 1 second to do it, it's all up to chance, all up to the kickoff. How does it go? It goes high into favor of Panic, and it is down.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a tough one to make. You got to cross the entire field on 100 boosts, especially when you have 2 blue cars that are screaming at you saying, hey, drop this because we want this win. But hey, good change of pace for Panic. Not a great first game, not a great momentum, not a great show of momentum after that first game. But hey, we made it to game 2. Panic scores first. And as soon as No Problem takes a little bit to respond, it seems like they're able to strike back right after that. So, I mean, they're, again, like I said earlier, I mean, their response time as far as the offense from No Problem is really quick. They're able to get one right back in the net, get this game either tied or get their lead running back. So I think we're going to see more of that throughout the rest of this series goes, because, I mean, these 2 players from Panic took them a little bit to get going, but this machine is starting to get oiled up, and it seems like they're going to be hard to stop once they get moving too quick.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what we looked at there was the result of probing in game 1. They saw what needed to happen, and they put it together in game 2, and it worked for them. Now, that being said, there's going to be some involvements to happen. No Problem is not going to sit static and do the exact same thing over and over again, right? That would just be insane, because you're going to play right into the hands of Panic. Not too much in terms of physicality I've seen from both teams. There's been a couple bumps attempts here and there, a couple of good demo goal, but it's not near as prevalent as you might think, and that's still on the table in my opinion.
No doubt, because demos and bumps, I mean, like we saw in the last game, they are very effective. That one air dribble bump goal was beautiful, and it is kind of what sealed the deal. It's a big one on the mental. It takes a huge toll to be demo chased throughout the entire series. As much as people hate it, it works, folks. I mean, there's another chance. Cerezy will just send that one just far to the right, as that's a chance that they're definitely going to want back. As a man to the midfield tries to take the fake, maybe trying to defer back to the right. Again, those 50-50s are coming in clutch, but again, this play just a bit too slow for this Panic offense. But I would say that's one thing they aren't doing is panicking, but they may have to panic there because that's a dangerous shot.
Absolutely. We get the touch from SGB, the confident read from Squashy. It just needs a little bit of a touch, and it's in dead center of the net. Didn't need to worry about putting it in a corner or picking his shot there because he knew he had the defender beat.
That's a tough spot to be in if you are Jackie Boy there, because that post kind of catches you up just a little bit in the weeds. But speaking of, there yet again is Jackie Boy caught in the weeds on this 50, as that was a beautiful, quick rotation from SGB to get it all done themselves. Make it 2-0. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. Look to make that a 2-for-1 deal, as it seems, because there was just basically no time between those last two goals. But their luck may be running out as Panic is on the attack. Or my bad. Yeah, no problems on the attack again. Exactly, words. Here we are from the ceiling. It comes down, doesn't quite meet its delivery mark. Jackie Boy with an open net to work with. It's in off the post. The biggest paid actor in Rocket League is your corner post.
That's a good look there from Jackie Boy. As you have the entire net to shoot at, and you choose the bottom left-hand corner. I love to see it, as I love making shots, easy shots, difficult. Totally kidding again. That's the second one against this team. I'll stop now. I'll try and even it up and give some zingers against, yeah, no problem. But again, you see that's a good chance from Panic, maybe trying to get themselves back in contention in this game, but still, they are only down by one, and with the way these games have gone, it can go either way. But again, off the kickoff, Jackie Boy will hand it off to Cerezy midfield, but good coverage again on that left post. It seems like, yeah, no problem is starting to tighten up their defense, not letting much through right now.
Absolutely. The midfield is becoming the playground once again, and it's in favor of Panic at the moment, with them keeping that possession. As we begin to flip the field once again to Yeah, no problem. They're going to look to extend their lead. There's a pass high in mid, and Jackie Boy is on the quick denial, giving absolutely zero chances for another goal. He wants to keep them where they are so it's easier to regain back. One is better than two. SGB says 3 is better than 2, but it is denied off to the side, and it becomes a foot race to decide who is going to maintain control of the ball.
Dump and chase goes in the way of Yeah, no problem. It seems like that was a nice clear from the defense of Panic, but as of right now, they are still pressed on their back foot in their defensive end. But yet again, that's another show of mechanics from Jackie Boy, trying to do it yet again on offense, but again, that air dribble bump not quite going to go the way they would have liked it to. Cerezy again to respond through the neutral field. It seems like this Panic team is starting to tighten up their neutral field. I said that, yeah, no problem starting to tighten up their defense, but it all comes down to that neutral field play. Can they get those clears that they need? That was a decent one. Good back past SGB. It seems like the ball movement seems to be a little bit more coherent with the cars in orange on the pitch right now. SGB maybe a bump. Not going to go for Cerezy. See the response from Panic, still not quite on the mark as they are still down by a goal. Maybe a flick, still again denied by this Yeah, no problem defense.
Absolutely. The playground is going to be what wins this game. A pass and a shot goes wide from the midfield, funny enough. Passing plays can be deadly in twos, but they are risky because it requires both of you to commit to a certain extent. But I've seen plenty of players make it work, and we might see it work plenty tonight. Squashy looking to extend their lead, and he does. The bounce shot goes undefeated thus far off the wall. And one more single touch to do it in, and it bounces to top bar and in.
That's a nice solo read there from Squashy. I mean, you recognize that the defender is just kind of out of position, kind of flat-footed in the front of the net, and by going on the left side of the goal, they aren't quite going to have the angle they need to get themselves back in position to make a comfortable, at least, save there. So you had the second man ready to strike on the rebounds, as that's what twos is all about, is preparing the defense to make mistakes and preparing your offense to respond to said mistakes. As of right now, still the mistake counter has gone in favor, I would say, of No Problem, is capitalizing on said mistakes again has been the big thing. But I haven't seen a lot of physical play. Jackie Boy trying to get it done, as we saw it last game, to kind of be the game winner for this Panic team. But as of right now, still only one demo that went in the way of SGB to start the very beginning of this game. Speaking of, there's a demo for Jackie Boy. It's going to take one attacker out of the play for now. Now a power play maybe for Panic's offense, but again, kind of losing track of that possession in the midfield.
Oh, the demos are starting to fly, Panda. Absolutely, the physicality is picking up a monstrous amount. Big 50 bouncing mid. This is dangerous. Can it be put away? And it can. Good reads, good awareness, and a not so great 50 if you're on Team Panic.
Yeah, it's always tough when the demos backfires. You saw Jackie Boy just trying to get quick and physical in the midfield. That might have been Cerisi, but it was one of the two blue cars was just trying to chase from behind just to get a touch, just to get a demo, just to get a sniff of one of the orange cars, but they couldn't quite do it. That shot doesn't really seem to matter, as it would have been a garbage time goal anyways, but No Problem will take game 3 and put this Panic squad on series point.
Absolutely. 2-1 we're sitting at right now for No Problem. They have to hold it together for one game. Panic is looking to find the response, find the key, the absolute answer. No Problem's absolute pressure when they're on offense. I mean, 11 shots, right? It's only 4 goals, but at some point you have to acknowledge the fact that if you throw enough stuff at the wall, something is going to stick, and every one of those shots requires boost, and it requires you to relinquish some sort of position.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this game of twos is all about. We've mentioned that it's all about demos, it's all about making mistakes, it's about forcing mistake or not making mistakes and forcing mistakes, but it is also a big key is by forcing mistakes. Like I said, I mean, that last thing is always seemingly the most important when it comes to twos, and especially twos. As we will see some threes later in this stream, but mostly causing mistakes, at least causing uncomfortability in positioning, especially of the defense that you are trying to make it through, is the most important aspect of this game mode, because by forcing an uncomfortable shot, it makes mistakes. And that is one that Cerisi is going to want to watch again, because that is a beautiful play to get this Panic team started.
Absolutely. Panic is trying to set the pace in this game here. They're showing it's not over till the fat lady sings. As we go to another kickoff, Circe Squashy goes in favor of Panic. SGB looking to deny this. It goes high and over the top. No boost in the tank. Squashy looks to receive comfortably. Here it is. Can it be done? Squashy and Circe. It's a narrow save by Circe out to the side, denying any opportunities, and there's one. It goes off to the left side. A response, an absolute rebuttal that gets put into the air by Squashy. Here he goes again. It's another read from SGB. The passing play that no one saw and the passing play that came to be is a high goal from No Problem.
And that is one thing that changes, or that is one thing that is the difference between a good team and a great team, is turning pressure into pressure. I mean, when I say that, turning defensive pressure into an offensive counterattack that creates pressure on the other defensive end. But I mean, that is just one that they're going to want to take advantage of again. That's kind of a play in their playbook that they're going to want to resort back to, because in this specific match, you have a team such as Panic that is really quick at making, or really good at making quick rotations, dangerous rotations. You see there's a bump. SGB again with that Mustang is able to kind of keep this ball out of danger for No Problem's defense, but you kind of have to see that there's a lot of open ends with this orange defense as of right now, but Panic again is not able to find a quick enough rotation to make it through. Cerisi off that rebound, make it 3 attempts, and good for Panic's offense.
Absolutely, third time's a charm for the Panic offense there. 3 shots. We're even on shots counted right now, but as you mentioned, we're a little bit loose in the No Problem's defense right now. Maybe because we're going for the demos a little too much, maybe a little too often, and Panic saw the opportunity and took it. They just had to keep pounding away at the issue until the cracks started to form.
Another chance. Seems like a lot of offense for Panic's team right now, but maybe a counterattack for No Problem. Not quite going to go. So there's another 50. Another demo is going to take some pressure off of Cerisi, who was alone in net, but that touch not the best. as Jackie Boy is going to be able to swoop in and assist Cerezy, who seems to be a bit low on boost in net. Still running off pads as No Problem is able to gulp up all the boost in each corner of this blue defense. But there's another mistake to the midfield. Squashy is going to be able to freely take care of that one back to their own corner, as both teams still struggling to find their way throughout this fourth game.
Absolutely. Right now, it is a game of who blinks first, and it's going to be Squashy. Absolutely. Off the wall, plays to the wall, again to himself, and takes... Oh, there it is. Absolutely. Good goal. Right side post. Good reads all around. It was definitely SGB with the goal, not Squashy. My bad. But, hey, you know what? If your team, No Problem, it doesn't matter if the cast was a little bit of a buffoon. It's a goal in your favor, right?
And that is all that matters, is that, again, yet another chance for No Problem. And it seems like there's, where we said that Panic seems to be the quicker team in this exchange, but as of right now, with that last goal, Jackie Boy had a chance to make the save, but that ball was just really quick off the shot from Squashy. But, I mean, it seems like they might be trying to play a bit too quick, and that's a kind of a common theme with a lot of players nowadays, is playing too quickly, trying to play with too much speed, and when you have a lot of speed, it kind of creates a little bit more room for mistakes. That's why slower, more methodical teams such as No Problem seem to have a bit more success, and that is exactly why they're leading this series 2-1 as of right now. It seems like they are just trying to make themselves that immovable object. Speaking of, there's a big demo. We haven't seen many of them from this No Problem team. Make it 2 for SGB. Maybe a pass to the midfield, we'll call it a shot, but that's Jackie Boy again with the good clearance, with a good save on net, but still no astounding clear that they are wanting to be proud of. There is finally one that they can work with. Seems like No Problem still surging with a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. The good clear, the problem with the really big hard clears like that, you need to get it out of your end as fast as possible because it's just a matter of time before they score. We've seen that in past games. You throw enough stuff at the wall, something's going to go in the back of your net. But you'll need to be able to follow it quickly because when we're talking tier 4, you're going to give away possession, and that's going to result in another flurry of attempts from your opponents. A flurry of attempts as it is. Squashy with the foot out towards the mid. SGB on the read again. He's seen this before. Sirze has as well, and he puts it off to the sidewall. High, boost, and all the time in the world. He's got one touch, a flip reset, maybe. Jackie Boy takes the ball for himself off the failed attempt. Squashy, quick to swat that one down. He doesn't want any problems in his airspace. Sirze trying to buy the time, can't get to the ball. And SGB takes it for himself and puts it top 90. And Sirze just has to watch it go in front of his car.
Yeah, and that's such a tough position to be in if you are on defense for Panic, because, I mean, you see two attackers surging through the corner. I mean, Squashy didn't make the most threatening touch on the ball. I mean, it was in the corner, kind of a tough bounce for the Panic defense, but I mean, with the presence of just trying to continue, even though Squashy had no intentions of hitting that ball again as it was kind of making its way to the midfield, that presence is what threw off the Panic defenders and what opened that chance for SGB to strike, and that is what makes a good team, is those good communications, saying, hey, I'm not going to touch this again, this is all yours to read. And that is such a great play from No Problem to get themselves possibly the series here. And Squashy's just trying to kill these precious seconds that Panic is going to need to respond. Wide open net for Squashy, not much boost to work with. This Jackie Boy, last chance for Panic. Maybe a clear backboard, SGB to take over, to pop one up, to try and burn these last couple of seconds down, but Jackie Boy again is able to keep this ball alive, maybe pick up a boost pad, but not quite going to be enough. The bounce was off the backboard, not enough to keep it up. No Problem will walk away with the victory.
Absolutely, and a well-deserved victory as it sits. I would say the theme of play there was calm, cool, and collected, and work with what you have for No Problem. And it did it. They tightened the screws, and the nails were put in the coffin, one shot after another. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, so much offense in that fourth game. I mean, with so much offense throughout that entire series. I mean, I would say as far as the players that were on the pitch, they didn't play as quick as I would have expected, but that's kind of akin to twos, is that you usually have a lot of players that like to play quick, and then you sometimes get those matchups where not a lot of players, they play off of game sense mostly. I mean, you see Panic played with a lot of speed, but still a lot of game sense. But yeah, no problem was definitely that more methodical team that was able just to chip away slowly rather than making those big blasting rotations that were like, wow, this is a quick team. But I mean, both these teams just trying to outsmart each other. And again, I mean, it was, yeah, no problem was able to get it done. It took four games. I mean, Panic, you can't be too down on yourself because this is a skillful team. But now you're kind of in a tough spot. You're down to 1-3 record. Still, I mean, still a decent position to be in as far as the rest of the season goes, but you have to start working pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Week 4, as I mentioned, we're a little bit over halfway. There is time, but time is not on our side from this point forward, so we have to start working quickly on ironing out little things. And these slower methodical teams, they can definitely be a pain because it just seems like no matter what you throw at them, they're just always there. They don't seem bothered by anything. You almost have to just remove them from the equation. I like maybe a heavy physicality, but as we've seen, it can leave you open as well, and the methodical team can just work with it.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking, you mentioned physicality, and speaking of which, we saw quite a few demos. By one particular in general is SGB on the winning team. Yeah, no problem. SGB, congratulations. We talk about physicality. First of all, congratulations on the win. But we talked about physicality. I'll ask you your first question here. We talked about physicality. What made you kind of chain demo some players, kind of get through the physical team? Like, what was the mindset behind just kind of chasing super hard? But again, first off, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. About time we got one. But we had a really rough start. So with that in mind, the demos, they brought out a lot of demos in game 2. And I figured if they wanted to play that way, I would also play that way. That's not typically our play style, and I got lucky on the Wolfie chain demo there. That was unexpected, but just bringing out that pressure and disrupting their play made a big difference, and for us, not normal. So
absolutely. Speaking of normal, the methodical play you guys are putting in there, in lieu of just going as fast as you can, you seem to opt to just absolutely control every bit of your opponent's decisions. Is that like your guys' secret recipe, or is it just what you came up with on the spot?
Well, game 1 obviously was a feeler, and we were able to gain a little bit of space just by controlling the pace a little. So the biggest thing was we went into game 2 and we didn't do that, and we let them disrupt us. Our game plan is just to adapt, either if it's quick and in the air, or if it's control and slow. But for us, a lot of the times it's just trying to pick out the other person. And we didn't do a lot of passing tonight, but we did have some good goals in there.
Hey,
no
doubt. Complaints for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys played fantastic. You guys were able to control the pace, like you said. And I mean, now you kind of get yourselves back even. You're back to 2-2. I mean, you're in a pretty good position. Still a lot of work to do. How do you take this success into the next couple of weeks and kind of get yourself in a more favorable position come playoff time?
Don't play competitive. That's what we're gonna do. No, but really, ultimately, it's just keep doing the same thing we're doing. Adjust how we need to adjust. And the nice thing about playing with Squashy all the time is just making sure that we can play different ways, and we just keep working on little things. And last season we were playing a bunch of teams that were well over our skill level, but we learned a ton, and it was fun either way. So hoping to continue just having a good time with Los Champs and continue rolling with the punches as they come. And if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose.
Absolutely. And again, congratulations on the victory, folks. That's SGB. The floor is yours for a couple shout outs if you would like. Otherwise, I'll get you out of here. Again, floor is yours.
I don't have much to say, but thank you to you guys for putting it on. Thanks for the casting tonight. And thanks to our coach Pancake, who always is around. And, always want to thank God and appreciate you guys for being here.
Of course. Again, congratulations. That is SGB. Have a good night, SGB. We will see you hopefully sometime soon on the stream. It has been a blast to have you guys. Again, congratulations to you. No problem. I mean, Money, that was a great series. We got yet another one coming up. I mean, what are you thinking about that series? Closing thoughts on that series?
Literally just David and Goliath in terms of tactics. They couldn't be any more different between those two teams. And it was just who could pull their way of play better. And yeah, no problem showed that they want to be in large and in charge and take control of everything they can. And they surely did. They controlled the pace. They made deadly attempts. If they couldn't make the first attempt count, they continued to just piece apart, piece by piece, the defense of Panic, and would eventually, something would stick. But mostly just the control. That is my big takeaway. They controlled the dang game.
And that is the key to victory right there, is controlling your opponents, putting them in awkward positions and putting them in a dangerous position going on to the remainder of the season. That's exactly what No Problem did. They're back up to 2-2. Unfortunately, Panic drops to 1-3, but there is still some time remaining, folks. That was Tier 4-2s. Look out, because No Problem is here to take a playoff spot. They're in a comfortable one. Speaking of comfortable, we got 2 teams coming up next. It'll be Tier 8, 2v2, 2 teams that are 3-0. So this is going to be a banger coming up after this short break.